Yeah, okay, there we go. Now I should have sound. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. Right, there we go. Yeah, just saying
Alrighty,
that we were just talking about recovery here, but now everything's set. And yeah, the weather is loaded because we've got 80 knots tailwind again. And the flight plan still says legs, yeah, still direct to the waypoint that you've created. That's good.
good stuff.
Faults are still set, so all good. So we are sailing
Okay.
in.
Can we get the descent checklist out of the way?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, shoulder harness are secure. Passenger signs are set. Pressurization. What's the elevation at Paris?
It should be about 350 feet or something. I'll check.
Okay. $350. It's about set. And it's slightly higher than normal pressure. Good. So pressurization is set. Fuel quantity and balance is good, 2000. Okay. Now, FMS landing data and charts. We programmed in the approach. It's an ILS. Let me just check that the FMS understands that.
Okay,
ILS 264. Approach briefing.
yeah, just getting the charts out. Quick question: speed brakes, is that an issue or?
White spoilers should be available.
Yeah, they were white, right? So,
Yes.
so I'm just having a look because it's not really maintaining the speed correctly. So 2 knots maximum it was. So spoilers out.
Oh, you put it into VFLC mode. That's probably why.
Okay.
Oh no, hang on. It's okay. Just go. Oh, vertical speed or VFLC is good to recapture the path. That's okay. It might be at this lowest speed, airspeed. The drag is very low.
Let me just go.
I'd recommend VFLC or vertical speed.
Yeah, let's go vertical speed and then try to capture the path. So 2,000 feet a minute. Right, fuel and balance. Okay, let's check. 700 left. Ooh. Possibly leak?
Possibly. I'm gonna take a look out the window. I can't see anything.
Okay. All right. So how long to go?
Well, let me bring up the QRH for that.
Yeah, might as well. So we got 90
so
miles.
If a fuel imbalance caution is message, do not taxi. Sure, do not land until imbalance is rectified unless a greater emergency exists. Well, fuel distribution monitor.
Okay, well, let's go. It's depleting fast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a leak for sure. We got idle power as well, so.
Yeah. Okay, let me finish up the. Well, so this. It's talking about balancing fuel here. I would say that it's probably fuel leak procedure. Okay, so we'll go to fuel leak 9-23.
Yeah.
Okay. Diversion may be required.
Yeah,
you don't say.
Yeah. We're on our way.
Roger. Okay, I think you can stow the speed brakes.
Yeah. Okay, path captured.
If visibility permits, a visual check from the cabin may enable identification of the leak source. I didn't see anything. Leak is confirmed or suspected. 2. Land immediately at nearest suitable airport. Caution. Do not delay landing while attempting to determine location of leak. Expedite landing if tank quantity gauge indications are amber. They are.
Yeah, we're landing at Paris.
Yes. 1. The minimum fuel quantity for go-arounds is 230 kilograms per wing with the airplane level, and assuming maximum airplane climb altitude of 10 degrees attitude of 10 degrees nose up. Do not action fuel imbalance, left-right fuel low pressure, or left-right scavenger ejector caution messages, or left-right main ejector fail status messages. Disregard fuel imbalance limitations. Number 3, autopilot monitor. Okay, so we'll see if he's doing an okay job. Anticipate out of trim situation when disconnecting autopilot.
Oh no.
And I think I can see the autopilot doing that now.
Okay, so I'll take it out. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you have a heavy right wing and you have one aileron to control the airplane with, so enjoy that.
Oh yeah. Well, it's still flyable. It's all right. So
fuel leak from engine is suspected. We don't know. It's probably from the tank itself, so no. Fuel leak from wing tank is suspected. Gravity and crossflow close. It's closed. Range is a consideration. No, I think we can make it.
Yeah.
We got 1,000 kilos on the right-hand side. That gives us an hour of flight time, so we can make it to Paris just fine. Leak in auxiliary tank is confirmed. No. No. Skip all of those. Tank quantities monitor. Consider use of asymmetric thrust to maintain fuel balance within limits. While we're descending here.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, even if you shut down the engine, the fuel will leak out. So.
In fact, I think it might shut itself down automatically here pretty soon.
Just continue the checklist. Let's see how far we get.
Landing with a fuel imbalance caution message. Yes, select the longest runway available with minimum turbulence and crosswind. Prior to landing, TOS warning flaps off. TOS warning ROSP installed off. Landing flaps 20 degrees. Approach speed VREF plus 14 minimum. That one we've already done. ATS disconnect. Depress at 100 feet AGL. ATS will not transition to landing.
Okay.
Yes. Actual landing distance increase. 1.5 with thrust reverse.
Okay.
Without thrust reverse is 1.55.
So we've
already increased it.
Yeah, we already increased it by 1.9. So unless we have to add that on top of that, which I don't think would make sense, but.
I would probably reconsider the previous estimate to be without now thrust reversers. Because we might lose that left engine there.
And then how much more was that from our original fault?
That'd be 2.4. Let me check. 2.4 is the landing factor. I'll check. I'll get that for you. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You focus on flying.
Yeah, that's fine.
At this point, we're in quite the pickle.
You don't say. Yep, I agree fully.
Okay, 2.4 for the landing factor. VRF 124, so VRF 124 plus 14, 138 minimum. I'd say 140 for the approach speed, flaps 20.
Okay, so I'll write then 140 for the speed check.
Roger.
Right, engine will go any second now, I think.
Probably. It does still have the collector tank in there, so that might give us maybe 10-15 minutes more at idle.
Okay.
The collector tank sits in the belly of the aircraft, and it basically is like a 50-liter drum, which is the lowest point in the fuel system, where it collects everything in before it sends it off to the engine.
Just got the study page open.
Yeah, the collector tank should now start depleting on the study page. Okay. That's the little one in the center there of the two of them next to each other.
Yeah.
And it's still a little bit in the let's see, there's still a little bit in the main, but pretty soon I'm sure the left collector is going to start depleting.
Okay, I didn't know about that. So left collector tank. Yeah, there it says 8.5 gallons right now. We'll monitor that. Okay. Cool.
As much fuel as in a DA-40 Star when it's full wing tanks.
So, right. Cool. Good. Checklist completed on that, or?
Yes, checklist is complete on the abnorm. I'm going to finish the descent checks. So
Yeah.
approach briefing.
Yeah, I'll give you a briefing. So 4,000 intercept the ILS, 3-degree profile down, minimum's officially 520.
I'll
And
get
then,
that in the EFIS here.
Thank you.
I'll put in the minimums.
Yeah.
520.
Missed approach will be non-standard because we'll probably be engine out. So we'll just go straight ahead, accelerate. I don't know. What's the elevation? 320 feet. Like 1,500 feet acceleration or higher.
Correct.
And then clean up as much as we can, flap 0, and then yeah. But the thing is, we can't raise the landing gear, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be an issue to look out for. Terrain is fairly flat, so
yeah, we are very light, so don't worry about the
okay. So
about performance. We're going to have enough performance to climb even with gear down.
okay, there we go. So we'll do left-hand pattern again and try again to land. Fuel at the moment with that fuel flow, I guess what 500, 600 kilograms normal fuel flow when the power comes up.
Down low, it's going to be more like 800 kilos an hour.
So we have, let's say, about 45 minutes rest remaining.
Yes.
When we're on the approach.
Yes.
So the second approach should be no problem at all.
Roger that.
Okay.
Approach briefing completed. And VNAV transition flight level, I'll put that in. What's the transition flight level here at in France? 60?
It's going to be pretty much 60.
Okay, so that's set. And descent checklist is complete, and range checks are next.
Okay, so clear down 4,000 is selected, out select white. And yeah, so we fly to Lima 01, again go base, do the manual gear extension. And the thing is, the question now is though, would it make
one thing?
Yeah.
Before we lose the engine, the APU draws fuel from the right-hand wing tank. So we could fire up the APU, put the electrics on the APU, or basically turn off the left generator and put the APU on the left side.
That sounds good.
So we still have dual generator.
Yep,
we are below 20,000 feet, so we're okay to start the APU. So
yep.
starting the APU now.
Yeah, good idea. Like it. Yeah, I was just about to say, for the engine, would it make sense to preemptively shut down the engine and not be surprised suddenly?
Probably, yeah, before we get into the approach here. So once we have the APU up and running, we'll transition the electrics over onto the APU.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, because the left collector tank now depleting as well, so still got 15.8 gallons.
Yeah, but like I said, maybe 10 to 15 minutes in it, and then she's toast.
Yeah. So yeah, before we get surprised in the approach and get uncontrollable. Good, so APU will start, and then
you can use the autopilot if you want. Still, it's okay.
To be honest, it's not too bad.
Okay.
I've got lots of aileron trim in, and it's okay. It's
yeah.
fine.
Good stuff. Didn't even notice that you put the aileron trim in there. I was wondering whether you were holding the yoke always deflected, but that's all good.
A little bit of rudder as well. Rudder input.
That's the the knob on the pedestal.
So that's aileron. There we go. A little bit more to the
this guy here.
Yeah. So it's going to be the opposite way in a minute. Once we get the engine shut down.
Alrighty, APU is available. I'm going to turn on the APU generator.
Thank you. And then when you're happy, I would go with the engine shutdown checklist.
Alrighty. So I'll kill the generator number 1 first.
Yep.
Check. Yes, Gen 1 is off. That is understood. So now we are on the APU for the left side buses and generator number 2 for the right side buses, and I'll get you the checklist here for the in-flight shutdown.
Thank
you. Okay, in-flight engine failure and shutdown. Affected and accomplish an engine shutdown only when in-flight conditions permit. Affected engine, thrust lever, confirm and idle.
Yeah.
So both are idle. So that simplifies that part.
Auto thrust
lever. I'm sorry.
Auto thrust, should it go off or?
It will. Yeah, it will automatically shut down.
Okay.
So that will be no problem at all. But yes, you will probably want the auto thrust off.
Yeah, there we go. Auto thrust is off.
Yep. Just push it again. The ATS disconnect, so it goes away with the message. It stops blinking. Oh, you've pushed the you pushed the button here. Don't worry. Okay, I'll clear that. Normally you push the buttons over here on the.
On the yeah, the thrust levers. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you can't quite see it right, but it's on the front of thrust levers. Okay.
Cool.
Good. Thrust lever, confirm and shut off. So that'll be the left side. I'll get the one for you. So I'll point at it.
Yeah.
This guy here.
Confirmed.
Shut off.
Yeah. Engine spinning down. Yeah. Left
engine's shut down.
Checked.
Okay. Tail tank transfer manual override is off. Anti-system is on? No. Hydraulic 1 high temp caution message is on? No. Applicable hydraulic pump on. If left engine is shut down, turn 1B on. Well, since we have a leak in 1B, I wouldn't do that.
Makes sense. Okay, skip that.
Affected pack off. Left pack is off. Affected 10th stage bleed, close. Left side, close. Affected generator off is off. In-flight engine shut down. Below 20,000 feet and APU is available. Yes, APU started. APU generator is on. Packs transfer to APU bleed air. Okay, so I'll push in the APU LCV. We are below 20,000 feet. And packs transfer to APU bleed air. So affected pack back on. Bleed air extraction from APU is not permitted above 15,000 feet. That we are below. Okay. So left side pack is coming back on. APU is taking the load. Good stuff.
Yeah. Rate is normalizing. Cool.
Alrighty. Fuel system check and monitor quantity and balance. That is understood. That's because of the leak. So
yeah. So 1,000 still remaining right tank. Yeah. Got a fuel fill right now, 40 kilograms. As we mentioned. Cool.
Affected boost pump is off. So that's the left side boost pump is off. We're gonna get a caution for that probably. There it is. Yes, left low pressure, left fuel pump. That's understood. That's what we want. Leave icing conditions. Note icing condition exists in flight at TAT of 10 degrees or below.
Disregard.
And visible moisture in any form is encountered, except when SAT is below, is minus 40 C or below.
Yeah.
Engine damage suspected or intentional shutdown.
Intentional shutdown.
Yeah. MFD or CDU ATC TCAS mode TA only. Tune TA only. Land at nearest suitable airport.
Paris.
Single engine approach and landing procedure abnorm 1-9.
Yeah, just continue with that.
And that is the end of the procedure. Okay. Do not attempt relight in case there's an engine damage or something.
No, we don't. We have a fuel leak, so good.
Okay,
yeah.
Single engine approach and landing.
Go ahead. Start procedure.
Oh my, this one's a long one again. Oh. Okay. It is copy. Yes, we have. Done. Cast messages review.
Checked.
So we have left fuel pump, left low pressure, that's unexplainable. Left engine is explainable. Fuel imbalance is understood. That's the leak. Hydraulic 3 and 1 is low pressure. Stabilizer channel 2 and up. I'm going to push the stabilizer back in. Okay, that was probably just from the generator transfer.
Yeah.
Pause warning, terrain as required. We don't need to change that one. Pause warning, flaps. So I'll go and override the flaps here. Pause warning, ROSP installed off is checked. Landing data is set. Approach speed VREF plus 14 minimum. We understand that. It's going to be 140 knots for us at flaps 20.
Checked.
Actual landing distance without thrust reverser increased by a factor of 1.55. We've already done 2.4 because we're not going to assume that we have reversers available. Yeah, transition altitude.
Sets down QNH 1016 sets.
Checked. Set and on the standby.
Yeah, there we go, set.
Approach briefing is completed. Shoulder harnesses are secure. Pressurization is been checked and set, so we're landing 350 feet. Pressurization is set and cabin is descending.
Checked.
Delta P 2.5.
Yeah, that's normal.
Cal anti-ice not required. Wing anti-ice not required. Left and right windshield high or low. We are low.
Yeah.
Fuel quantity imbalance is checked. At transition level, altimeter set and cross-checked. In-range check.
Yeah.
APU is started. Packs are transferred to bleed air. Go around thrust determine. Add 2% N1 to the 2-engine takeoff N1.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go in here. Check log tuning. It's being a little bit fussy there. I'll get to it. So 92.3 is the takeoff thrust limit. So I'm going to add 2% to that and set it as a manual thrust limit. So it's going to be 94.2. 1,000 feet to go.
Checked.
And 94.1 thrust limit is set.
Checked.
So that's going to be our go around thrust limit.
Mm-hmm.
For FAA certified airplanes, go around thrust determined. Normal takeoff N1. Yeah, we are. I guess we are November, so actually let's go to normal takeoff thrust limit. External lights as required.
Yeah.
That's set. Passenger signs on. And before landing check is next after this, so
Okay.
we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah. Then so in-range checklist.
In-range check is APU is started, altimeters are set and cross-checked, avionics are set, external lights are on, N1 target is takeoff, PAX transition is completed, APU generator is on, CASs are understood, in-range check is complete before landing is next.
Thank you.
I'll get you the next leg there, direct, because it's being a little bit stupid there.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, so 4,000 feet coming, leveling off, and then, yeah, we've got to do the manual gear extension. Non-stop talking for you.
Yes, sir. And I need to check the localizer tuning here because it's giving me some trouble. That's okay.
835 should be correct. So.
Let's see. Yeah, well, it's not on my side. That's the problem. So it's being a little bit fussy about that.
Okay, cool.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we got ghosted needles. All sweet.
Yeah, fantastic.
Alrighty, so we are ready for approach guidance whenever you want it.
Yep. Yep, so hit the approach button, please.
Yes, sir.
Yep,
approach.
Lock arm, glide stop arm checked. So go ahead with the manual gear extension whenever you can.
Roger that. Manual gear extension checks. What have I done to myself here?
Yeah.
Landing gear manual gear extension, that's abnorm 13-10. Airspeed reduce. So we need to be now flaps, for flap 0, we need to be 181 knots. So I'll set you to 181.
Reducing, careful altitude, checked.
Leave hydraulic pump 3B off if pump was selected off due to low or decreasing pressure or low quantity in system 3. Yes, that's going to be hydraulic pump 2B and 3B on. Well, 2B we can put on. That's already on. 3B, number 3 system is depleted, so I'm not going to bother with that.
Yep.
So here comes the left turn. Landing gear lever, down. Nothing happening there, predictably.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, landing gear lever is down. Landing gear lever can be cycled up and down. The load required to operate a landing gear manual release handle is greater than 40 pounds. Flight crew may choose to reposition seat prior to handle deployment. Landing gear manual release pull to full extension. So, I'm pulling.
Yeah.
Gear disagree.
Incepting the
Don't mind that.
No, turning final. Runways inside.
Checked. Okay, gear is down 3 greens. Inboard brake pressure. Probably the accumulator has bled down because we've taken so long to get there.
Nose door.
That message is understood. That's because the nose door is not going to close. We understand that that's what's going to happen. Okay, nose door okay, it says here, the nose door open warning message may be displayed when manual gear extension is accomplished. If the nose landing gear is in transition, this message will be inhibited. Okay, here comes the glide.
Yeah, just slightly below altitude.
I'll inhibit the blinking light.
Should be capturing anyone. Okay, continue glide stop capture.
There it is. Good stuff. Landing gear indication checked for 3 greens. Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And landing gear indications symbols indicate 3 green. Down, yes. Do not stow landing gear manual release handle until gear locking pins are installed. The nose wheel steering may not be available upon landing. No further action required. End of procedure. Okay, so let's go to the let's see, no,
We'll
single engine approach and landing, and I'll get the before landing check out of the way.
Cabin flaps 10, please.
Laps 20, yes, that's the first set.
20. Okay, so that's final setting already with the flaps. Cool.
Yes, and speed 140.
Yeah, slowly reducing. So 140 set, please.
Speed 140 coming for you. I'll sync your heading up as well. And I can give you a little bit more range on the MFD there, so you can see. Yep, runway's 8 miles away.
Yeah, it's actually wider than the 26 right, so that's cool.
Good stuff. Okay, so before landing check, continuous ignition will turn on. Wing anti-ice not required. Cal anti-ice is not required. Cabin advise. Okay, I'll advise those.
Thank you.
May we have your attention, please?
Okay, has been advised. Landing gear lever is down 3 greens. Brake and anti-skid system check. I'll do a quick check here.
Yeah, green. Yeah.
Anti-skid checks out. Operative thrust reverser is armed, so right side, you're going to have thrust reverse on the right-hand side.
Checked, yeah.
Landing flaps 20 is set. Approach speed maintain VREF plus 14.
Yeah, we've got one.
Actual landing distance without thrust reverser 1.55, that's already done. If required, use remaining thrust reverser carefully upon landing. Caution, before selecting reverse thrust, ensure that nose wheel touchdown is achieved with nose down elevator applied.
Yeah.
We've already talked about that. I'm going to push forward on the control column.
Thank you.
And that's the before landing check. A single engine approach and landing check is complete.
Okay, thank you so much. Now I need a glass of water. So the normal landing checklist doesn't have to be completed because we've done that through the engine out checklist.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And
Right.
if you need a glass of water. How much water I need?
Yeah. So trying to figure out how the aircraft
to the
handles. Yeah. So just go a little bit more right rudder there. That's fine. So I am. So just give you feedback.
Do you want the HUD, by the way?
No, I don't. I think just go with that at the moment.
Okay.
But thanks for the offer. And so it really feels different. So normally the Challenger is very, stable when it's trimmed out. Here it's perfectly flyable, but you can really feel
gusting. The wind's gusting a little bit from the right. Yeah. That's what's upsetting you. You need a lot more input to get it to do anything.
So you can actually feel that, and it feels sluggish. So whenever you do aileron input, for example, as it should, because the failure has diminished your roll authority, and later on the pitch authority as well.
I mean,
so, you can feel that.
Watch this over here on the flight control page quickly. You can see it.
Yeah. So
one aileron only.
Yeah. So it's fascinating to actually feel the difference. And so it's not just visually, you can actually feel how the aircraft reacts differently.
500 feet.
So on path.
A little bit over to the right.
Yeah, correcting slowly. Try not to overcorrect things. Okay, so let's see how this goes.
Low.
So correcting. We're going to go nose gear down, off touchdown, and reverse.
Yes, and I'll push forward on the control column for you.
And we'll see how we get to stop the aircraft.
Use liberal rudder.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Down we go. So here comes reverse. And you can see the aircraft tilting to the left because the wheel issue. Just hope the landing gear doesn't... Good deceleration, 90 knots now. I'm just going to leave it as is. Reverse is in. We have good deceleration. I'm just going to leave that, not touching the brakes. Maintain center line. Oh, now we've got a bit of issue, so going to go with differential. Reverse is coming closed. And that's a noticeable steering obviously off as well. So yeah.
Yes.
Checked it. And we're not going anywhere from here. The runway closed.
Oh yeah.
Set the parking brake.
We don't have parking brake.
Oh yeah, you're right. Chocks. Because the aircraft would turn the brakes on.
Stomp on the brakes, and
Yeah.
I'll call for the chocks.
Yeah, thank you so much. Right, wow, we made it. Blimey. What a crippled aircraft. Just want to show you the gear here.
Good call on the wide runway. We needed it.
Yeah, we definitely did. So there we go, chocks in position.
Feel free to do a replay of that.
Yeah.
That landing rollout was definitely very precarious. And there was a couple of places where I thought, okay, we're going in the grass.
Yeah, me too. I thought, okay, I'll try that. But differential braking worked as well. So there we go. So the AP is running. How about we shut down the other engine? Should we go?
Yes. Generator off then, number 2. And yeah, you can pull the right engine.
Okay, there we go. Hold on. So let the fire brigade. Yeah, Andrea, thank you much. That was really. I love that. I love the intensity that comes with such a failure. And yeah, Toto. Obviously,
I was hoping I'd be able to follow chat, but not a chance.
No. I actually, the weird thing is, there was not one question in the chat. Everybody was just watching and not. Well, actually, they knew we wouldn't have time to answer any questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have questions, now would be a good time. But otherwise, yeah, what an incredible set of failures. But also not completely unrealistic. I mean, these things can get sometimes almost catastrophic. So just simple failure of a burst tire, then suddenly damaging through gear attraction, damaging all kinds of stuff, fuel lines, hydraulic lines, electrics. Yeah, good friend, glad enjoyed it. So incredible. But again, I have to say, I'm just fascinated by, because that's one thing I wanted to see, how the aircraft actually handles. I mean, it's one thing to have certain failures being shown here, and it says, in-op left elevator, left aileron, etc. But then actually going manual flight and actually feeling the aircraft being sluggish and reacting completely different. And you have to realize that in real life, if you're faced with this situation, the pilots maybe at some stage tried some heavy abnormal dual hydraulic failure, but you normally don't do that regularly, A, and B, the real aircraft may sometimes behave just a little bit different depending on the weather and the wind, etc. So this is really every time kind of nail-biting for us pilots as well, going through these procedures. And you can also see, I would have been in real life, if I go manual flight, literally I am so tunnel visioned on controlling the aircraft. I did listen to Toto's actions, so I tried to follow the flows that he was doing, so that if I catch anything unusual, I maybe just say stop, say again, is that the right switch or is that the right action? But yeah, the incredible complication of these different issues that we've had with hydraulic engine, etc., need you to jump to so many different checklists. And Toto said this is a long one as well, right? So Toto did a great job going through it really quickly, but not so quickly that we're missing points, and not so that he's losing me. So I actually was able to quite well follow his checklist points there.
Roger.
So very nice.
I had no time to focus on how you're flying the airplane. Like when I hear the altitude alert going off where you were deviating a little bit, I was like, oh my god, I hope Black Box got this thing in his hands and we're not upside down by now, because I have no time to fly.
But this is
if I was alone,
yeah,
this would be a complete situation of overload. I would rely on the autopilot so much here trying to get anything done.
Yeah, and this is actually a very nice demonstration of the shared flight, how it would be done in real life, and how, just like in real life, we would be separated. So I'm flying the plane, I'm using ATC, and you're just running checklist. And this is the thing that we faced, the issue we face as well in real life, that the other pilot is normally monitoring your flight path and everything and trying to keep the same picture, situation awareness and so on. But it's just unable to do so because he needs to run through the checklists. Yeah, so that's just the way it is.
I really enjoyed how the flight started. It was routine, was nothing.
Mm.
First call, something might be off on the
Mm.
departure, and then it slowly snowballed. And at this point, I think we both need a change of clothes.
Yeah, I'm sweating definitely, especially while the room is hot anyways. But yeah, that got me sweating, and I thought hydraulic. I thought okay, that's fine. And not stuff to do. And then when you, I think you mentioned the fuel leak came on, right? Fuel
Right.
imbalance. I was like, no, you did not. And I thought, oh yes, Toto, yes, he would. So I thought, all right, fuel leak as well. Yeah, and interesting the similarity between the 320 and the Challenger, where obviously fuel leak, you don't know where it's coming from, you don't open any cross feeds, all right, you don't want to waste good fuel on the leak. And yeah, in the end, to avoid a surprising shutdown of the engine at any point, a really bad point would be obviously in the approach, right? So it's a good idea to actually put that into the normal engine shutdown in flight, somewhere where it makes sense, right?
You would have been surprised probably by it very badly, because when you're in the descent initially at a relatively high speed and stuff, you're almost idle. So the engine's not consuming a lot, and you might think that, okay, well, the indication's showing 0 in the fuel tank, but the engine's still running, and it's been running for 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe just the indication's broken or something. Maybe the sensor got hit. So you start relying on the engine, but as you level off in the approach at that 4,000 on the platform to get on the glide slope, suddenly your fuel flow increases on the left side quite substantially to keep the speed. And that's when it would actually go out, because that's when it might have finally finished draining the collector tank out, and having the engine failure right as you're intercepting glide slope, that would have been quite a nasty surprise.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so I'm really happy with the outcome in the end. We got the plane down safely, and looking at what actually is broken. I'm just gonna go outside here.
feel free to look in the failure manager and check for only the show only active checkbox, and you'll see what I said.
So hang on, show. Oh, okay, because I guess it only shows the left main tank leak fast.
Well, there's more categories.
okay,
There's a few tabs.
Yeah, okay, now I get it. Yeah, hydraulic. So system 1 leaks slow, system 3 leaks slow, leak fast as well. And then landing gear, yeah, left gear dual tire puncture. Yeah, that's what I checked out this morning prior to contacting you, how that's possible. And I was just standing on the ramp, and I just activated it, and the whole aircraft just dipped down. It's like almost a 5-degree bank, and I was like, oh, it actually does do something. Contrary to Microsoft Flight Sim, here actually it has an effect. And I mean,
and it pulls you, changes your drag behavior of the wheel and tire drag.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Braking is ineffective.
Yeah. So these things, that's the thing about X-Plane. It's just there on a different level. Oh no, I didn't have to do that.
Hang on, let me help you. That's okay, I'll help you.
Okay. Hang on,
You've got the thing open, so we need to just grab it and push it forward a little bit. It helps if you're a little bit off to the side.
Because I'm interested to see how much wing tip clearance we have now.
I was a little bit iffy when you were a little bit wing low on the right hand side as we were coming into touchdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Challenger is a little bit prone to wing strikes.
Yeah. So here
is
a simulation of how the tires, the rims on the runway, and the whole aircraft just tilting so much to this side. I'm just go look from here. Oh, accidentally went into the FOV. FBO. So here we are back again. Yeah, it's just looking at the front here. Gavin, thank you very much. That's really kind. Thanks for the support. 100 bits coming in. Thank you very much for that. Right, yeah, look at that. It's quite substantial, right? How the aircraft tilts to the left side now. Quite incredible.
Yeah, we've got maybe 3 degrees, 2.5 degrees left bank.
Yeah, but still, there's not much clearance on the left side now.
Oh, no. I mean, I've shown you the videos of Challengers, which almost did a wingtip strike
Yeah.
on approach.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. Brennell, because the noseable steering is inoperative due to the hydraulic failure. And so in the end, as you slow down, at some point, the nose gear loses just traction going forward, and it will tilt.
Yeah, it free casters here. So
Mm.
this is basically the mode it's designed to go into when you have like a problem with the noseable steering. Theoretically, you could just steer the thing by differential braking, but since one side it's got a flat, we didn't really rely on the brakes there too much. Also, half the brakes are inoperative.
Yeah, that's true. Amazing stuff. That's really, really good.
How much runway did we need? Almost all of it.
Yeah.
Think of it, we're just in front of the touchdown
400
point.
meters remaining. But this is the thing. So when we calculate landing distances, of course, through regulations, there is always additionals on top of those. So the demonstrated landing distance, what the test pilots from the manufacturer actually fly and then get noted down, there's huge additionals on that. So for us pilots, obviously, we're not test pilots, right? We're not going to be so proficient in handling these abnormals and be so proficient in being able to touch down the plane in the touchdown zone every time and utilize all available braking means to the optimum. So obviously that's why we normal line pilots need these additionals. But if you actually nail it, and if you actually land quickly and you activate the brakes accordingly, and then you could actually face having lots of margins or lots of runway still available. But here on this landing, like we talked about this, we touched down and I opened the reverser, but then I looked at the speed trend and I said, well, we're slowing down quite good now. So instead of activating brakes more than necessary, I was more concerned about just staying on the runway. So that's why we actually used some good runway there. Thank you much from Wake Vortex. Just caught the end. I can ask an unrelated 650. Yes, sure. We have some very good people here that know a lot about the 650. Pilsners, for example.
I already called Jenny, by the way, to come pick up the passengers.
Yeah, thank you so much. And the mechanics, they got some work to do. They will have overtime. So now we would secure the aircraft according. This is the thing. This is another thing I would like to talk about really quickly. So when we have such an abnormal, we have a Curage checklist what to do. So for example, we would have to pull the circuit breaker from the audio, from the voice and the flight recorder, because if there were any investigations going on, the authorities would want to have those that data, and so we are. That's one thing, for example. Then same thing with we have a pre-filled document that that we would give to any authorities.
The airport taxi's here. Thank you, Captain. Great flight as always.
Yeah, they are glad they enjoyed it.
I'll see you next time.
Sure.
Bye bye. Enjoy.
I'm sure you will. I would not answer many questions from them. I would just hand out the sheet and say, look, I know my rights. I will fully cooperate, but we'll do that with lawyers, etc. at the side, experts, so on. So that's settled as well. But yes, after this kind of incident, as spectacular as it may be, and as as obviously kind of nosy and inquisitive people are, and yourself as a pilot as well, you would want to go outside just like we did now and look at the aircraft. No, you still have to do all of your duties. You've got to make sure that first of all you secure the aircraft, then take care of your passengers, etc., etc. So there's a lot of stuff. You don't want to ruin your actions and your good outcome by then making some procedural errors afterwards that maybe then cause some other issues. So interesting stuff. And I knock on wood, never had a accident where investigators came on board and I had to face these questions, and so I hope that remains that way, because I have a high respect for these situations. I'm confident enough I can handle it.
Your company probably has experience there, so they've got the paperwork ready.
Yeah, the thing there is though, I mean, you know, the first thing they look at, did you do everything according to procedure? And if not, ooh, you'd be
Why
surprised
not?
how quickly you would be on your own.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Wake Waters. Thank you, Brennelt, for reminding me. So he's got a question. Just finished a flight to Maastricht on Vatsum and the Challenger 650. They gave me a direct to a waypoint that was not on the flight plan, and then to hold there. It appears you can't execute a hold at a direct to point in the 650 FMC. Is that correct?
Sure you can.
Okay, so
Sure you can.
so-
Unless it's a bug in the FMC, it should, absolutely.
So, well,
Yeah.
maybe Toto can quickly show you that.
Let's do we already have a flight plan in here somewhere. Let's activate the secondary. So there we go. And let's pick something that's
He says it's not on the flight plan yet.
something that's not on the flight plan. Let me just choose a proper overlay here. I want that. Then I'll want to roll the speed range up a little bit, and we'll go, I don't know, few waypoint, whatever. Something that's not on the flight plan. So let's display. Let's go. I don't know. MFD advance. Next. What's something that's not on the flight plan there? I need to be a direct here, right? So, I'll go. No, not that display menu. I need lower. Oops, no. Lower menu, and I'll show myself some terminal waypoints. Or high en route navigates. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So let's pick MOU here. We'll go. Was it Bebex, MOU, Valku, or maybe even bypass Valku? So we are here. MOU. We'll go direct, and then I don't know, like Largo or something. Doesn't really matter. So go either put it into line select key 2 here, or you can just put it into direct here on this line. That works too. It's the same operation either way.
So direct 2, yeah. There we go.
So there we go, and I'll delete this Bebex here. It's kind of dumb. Go execute, and we'll go index hold, new hold, MOU, and there it is. There's my hold.
Yep. So Wake Vortex, has that answered your question, or is there a follow-up question on that?
Can I get a pillow, please? And how long until takeoff? Considering the state, yeah, considering the state of the airplane, it's probably going to be AOG for a couple of months.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's where two of us had the same issue. The execute didn't show up. Okay, and I guess you're still in the stable version, right? So I'm not sure if...
Strange. You're welcome, Imog.
Okay. All right. So, Toto, thank you so much for the amazing flight.
My pleasure. It was great fun.
Pleasure. Yeah, that was a lot of work, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
So cool, and I know the viewers enjoy that as well. Oh yeah, the replay, landing replay. You're right.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. So we go flight, toggle replay mode, and then we'll go and have a look.
Yeah, we've been standing here for quite a while, so.
Okay, there we go. Just need to load in here. I hope it doesn't crash now. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go fast forward here. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, Andre. Fantastic. Reynold, I'm sorry, what's half an hour late? Okay, I'll be within 10 minutes latest, promise. So there we go, and then we'll have, actually let's go again.
So unusual to see a Challenger nose up during a landing, eh?
Yeah. So there we go. Just trying to keep it near the center line, touchdown, and then try to figure out how the aircraft is reacting. And you can see the tilt of the to the left side here. Yeah, now just trying to recapture the center line, trying to keep it there. And as we slowed down, as it got slower and the rudder became less effective, as Toto mentioned, yeah, we did start to drift to the right. Here we go. So there we go. You can see the rudder effectiveness wasn't that much anymore. I try opposite out differential braking, trying to regain everything. Yeah, the runway terrain is a bit. It's a standard airport, and one thing I think I've switched off is to follow the runway or the runway contours. Just switch it on. But there we go. That was not too bad, I think. Right. So, all considered, beautiful livery.
There, that last moment as you dipped the right wing down, I was like, oh my, we're scraping that wing.
Yeah. There we go. Excellent. Right. Guys, thank you so much. Thanks for support. There's one more flight coming, but I know that not many people really are interested in that VFR flying. But yeah, we're continuing on our Iceland tour in the C414. Thank you so much, my dear moderators, for looking over the chat and watching out. Thank you so much for the help. And yeah, I'll see you again either now in about 10 minutes time or maybe tomorrow. I'll do one more stream. We'll see. I'll announce that on Discord as always. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'll see you again very soon.